Ed, good to see you. How much did you enjoy your return last weekend?
Yeah, really good. From the start of the week, the lads were really welcoming. Had a good couple of days in training, and to then get that performance out, while not perfect, it was a massive step in the right direction for the boys, and I was glad to be a part of it.
And how much has that given the lads a spring in their step this week?
Yeah, we've only had the one training day so far, but been a real good day. Everyone's buzzing, confidence up. So yeah, hopefully we can turn that round into a string of games now.
How much did you push to return here for the rest of the season?
Yeah, a fair bit. The opportunity come from Richie. It was just kind of, I can either chance my arm at Lee, and while being a squad player is sort of what I was okay doing. To have game time every week was something I thought was a really good choice to make, especially with coming in next year, sort of get a leapfrog on next season. So yeah, it was something that me and a few other people were pushed really hard to get, and luckily for Richie and my side of things, it was all worked out.
Did Lee need some convincing?
It was kind of a bit of a mutual thing. They understood, at 28 you can't just be sat down on the sideline every week. You do need game time regular, and while there was conversations of me possibly staying, we had Chris Chester and Adrian Lamb. Both of them kind of just came to the decision of it was probably best that I move on and get game time a bit earlier than expected. But credit to the two of them and Richie for sorting things out again.
Simon was chatting with you about the weekend, and he was saying that you're a person who likes to speak up. You've got an opinion, he said. Well, where does that come from?
I don't know, to be fair. I just thought, I've been at a lot of clubs, seen how to do things right, how to do things wrong, and I feel like it's kind of just one of those things. If it comes out, it came out, and in the heat of the moment, it's, especially in a game like Wigan, you don't want to lose. You get in a lead, you stay in that lead. So it was just one of those things. It just came up, and especially with the year that Hull have had, they've got a lot of young kids in, and if I can help them in 1% of things, then that's what I'll do.
Have you been tasked then to do that?
No, it's just kind of one of those things. Again, at Lee it was a bit different. there was quite a few older boys, more experienced boys ahead of me, whereas here now the vast majority of lads are younger than me. There's a few lads my age, and I just think that if we can offer what we think and our input, right or wrong, at least it's an input, and on that we can move forward with things.
When you were younger, were the experienced voices in dressing rooms that sort of stick in your mind, that help you? Yeah, I kind of, to be honest, being a bit younger, you just kind of tend to look after yourself, and it's only really been in the past probably 4 or 5 years that I've started to take on those kind of leadership words of wisdom, and just kind of try and implement those little things into my game. And I like to think that it's made me a better player, and that then obviously once I start getting a few more games, get a bit more respect from the other lads, and I can pass that on to other lads. You've got good utility value, we know about that, but are you quite keen to nail down one position here?
Yeah, for the time being, it's one of them. I'll just do whatever Grixie needs me to do. I came here not wanting to step on anyone's toes. I just wanted to make sure that I'll do my bit, get game time, and hopefully help the lads finish off a good season. So yeah, pre-season probably be a bit more focused on nailing down a spot. Like ideally, I think we've spoken about possibly nailing down a centre spot. But again, that could all change come pre-season. New coach might have different ideas for me. So once we get to there, that's when we'll start focusing on that.
Have you had a chat with John?
No, I've not had a chance to yet.
What do you know about him?
I know it's going to be a tough pre-season. speaking to Richie and a few of the older boys that he has spoken to, you know, it's going to be a shock. It's going to be different, but you know, I think it's going to be good, and hopefully come round one next year, it'll show with the vast majority.
As for you, let's talk about your performance in the last match against Wigan. How did you think it went, you personally?
Personally, a bit different. I have played back row against him not too long ago, and yeah, it's always just going to be a physical game. So I was probably blowing a bit too hard, too quick. But you know, credit to the boys as well. They helped me. I like to think that I did my part for them, and like I say, yeah, it was just good to get the win.
What's the challenge now, having seen off Wigan going to Catalan?
It's probably a very similar team. They've got a big pack, and some smart outside backs. So I think the challenge is the exact same as Wigan. You know, we've got to front up as middles, and then the backs have got to clean up any shape that happens. So I think it's just a pretty similar thing. You know, we have to go there, and if we have the same energy and put in the same efforts of everything, then you know we'll go a long way to getting a good win away.
There's evidence to suggest things are getting better here. How do you see the future now?
Yeah, it's good so far. Again, the 2 weeks that I was there previously, it's different now.
In what way?
You can just see there's a confidence in the lads. Even though they might not have got the wins that they wanted to, you can see that probably a bit more close-knit. The structure, the willingness to work for each other, and you know, with being at a club, it's not always about being the most skillful team. It's the team that's willing to do stuff together. If you're willing to work for a mate, that's what gets you through games. So at the minute, if things are going in the right direction, everyone's buying into it, and hopefully, like I said before, it kicks on through to the end of the season.
What do you think has been the catalyst for that
then? There's been obviously a few personnel changes. Whether that has had an effect on the boys, I'm not too sure, but I'm not too sure really. I think a few different people coming in just provides a bit of energy, something a bit different, and you know, a few of the lads that do have had the chances have taken them, and you know, they're just listening to what the older lads are experienced in, and that's just how to get through games, how to win games. But yeah, like I say, it's hard to put your finger on one specific thing, but I think it's a big combination of lots of little things that have had a pretty good effect.
Richie's got aspirations of finishing mid-table. Is that attainable, do you think, this season?
Yeah, definitely. All depends, obviously, how the next couple of weeks go. We've got to get a string of games together, and you know, looking at the result, at the fixtures we've got. You know, it's not going to be easy, but we feel confident in. You know, we've just turned over the top of the table, and you know, whether that was them being on their game or us being at our very best or whatever, you know, we've got to take confidence from that and just take that into every week. And you know, if we take the willingness and that sort of passion into every week, then you know, we'll go a long way to winning each game.
Sam Tompkins is coming out of retirement for this one. Do you view that as a desperate measure?
He's doing his bit to help Catalan, isn't he? He's a class player, has been for, you know, as his whole career. I think it's just his smarts that he'll be bringing to Catalan. We'll just have to see how 6 months off a rugby pitch has helped him physically, but you know, I think he'll definitely be a good addition for the brain side of Catalan. But like I say, we're just going to focus on us. When it gets to the actual game day and he's on the team sheet, you know, that's when we can discuss some things. But for the time being, we just worry about us, and then results will take care of itself.
How surprised though were you to learn of that news?
Quite surprised. I've been over to Catalan twice this year with Lee, and both times seeing him and with a few of the other Wigan boys that have played with him. And you know, he looks the exact same, but you know, if it's within himself, he thinks he can play, then you know, fair enough to him. Like I said, he's a very smart rugby player. he's not going to be daft. He'll look after himself. He's going to do what he needs to do. So, like I say, we'll just focus on us. We do what we need to do, and then come Saturday, hopefully we get the win.
Remind us about your record with Lee then at the Stade Gilbert Brutus this season.
What are we up to now? The last one I can remember, we had a record crowd there, which massively helped. But yeah, we had a really good, tough win over there. Like I said, it's a tough place to go. The crowd's on your back. It's a big physical pack, and the biggest one is the heat. It's going to be warm. We know that, so we're going to have to play smart. But yeah, from the last time I played there, hopefully I can just take what I learned from that game and put it into this one.
How did you beat them then?
Like I said before, it's just hard work. Everyone willing to do the tough stuff. If someone messes up, your mate's going to have to save you. And on that day, that's what happened. You've got to play smart, especially in that heat, and you've got to be willing to be more physical than them. So yeah, you do everything right, you put yourself in a really good chance.
Do you enjoy playing over there?
I do, yeah. It's the whole combination of things. You've got you either go a couple of days before or you go a day before. It throws a few mixes in, but it keeps you on your toes and you've got to be ready for everything. So, but yeah, it's good. It's nice to be usually in good weather, whether it be sunny or at least just dry. It's good to go and play over there.
As for Lee, Lachlan Lamb's been linked with a move here. Would you like to see him coming over?
He's a class player, isn't he? Yeah, he was real good. I played in the Challenge Cup final on his side, and even though he's only young, it's like he's got all the experience in the world. He's confident, got a good kicking game. He's a good runner. So it'd be good. It would be good to see him here. Whether it does happen or not, I don't know. But having played alongside him, he's a little leader, and he's good at getting a team around apart. So it would be good, yeah.
Thanks, Ed.
No worries.
Ed, obviously 3-year deal that you've signed up for, so it's a big commitment. Obviously, it's the only time you've got a head to impress at the club. So what were your motives for obviously signing? Was it to nail down that centre spot and things like that?
Yeah, it was one thing. It's been a bit of an up and down the last year or two at Lee. We had a really good championship year and I nailed down a centre spot, and that's where I felt really, really comfortable. That first year in Super League probably didn't do myself justice. And then when I did get a couple runs at centre, again, felt comfortable. So, Richie giving me the opportunity to possibly nail down a centre spot for next year, it's probably one of the big motives.
So I did a Q&A with Richie, it went out on Monday, and he spoke about you, and he said, literally spoke about John Cartwright, about you saying, well, these are your qualities, and John's reply was like, go get him now. So that must give you a lot of confidence that the club obviously backing you now for 3 years. Yeah,
I've played with Richie before with internationals, and I've known him for quite a bit. And for him to sort of put me out there into the limelight of Hull, it does mean a lot. It was nice for him to give me the phone call to say, yeah, this is what we want, and you're exactly it. So yeah, it was real nice.
Did he have to sell Hull to you at all? Obviously, you come from a different part of the country, don't you? So it's just long. I know people laugh, but it's only 2 hours away. But it's a long way when you're coming back and forth.
Yeah. It was something that I've really had to think about. I'm originally from Warrington, but me and my partner have moved probably even further away now. So it was something that had to be thought about. But for the length of time that I could possibly be here, and the history of this club, the size of this club, and what the future holds for the club. Obviously, there's quite a few lads from Lee moving up. All of them had an effect. But like I say again, it was probably just it's going to hopefully be regular game time for a big club. So yeah, it was kind of an easy decision.
We'll see the Lee lads that are coming over, Zach, Ollie, John Asiata. How much did that, obviously you mentioned them, how much of an influence did it make your final decision to come here? Because obviously the players that you know inside out, but players that everyone here hopes will have a huge impact on the team alongside yourself next year.
Yeah, it was good. Johnny's come out of the blue a bit, and as soon as I saw that, really, Richie's aspirations of what he wanted from Hull, kind of, that's instantly what John gives you. You can build a team around John, and then to have people like Zach and Oggy come in, two real workhorses. Zach as a centre, Oggy as a middle, two really hard working lads, and I like to think that we put a combination in around that and build a team around a few people like John, obviously, and Zach and Oggy, and then hopefully we can just add on to that, and hopefully I can be a part of that build.
So we've heard a lot about what you can potentially bring to the side, but what would you say those qualities are in your own words? Like, what do you think you can bring to this club?
I'll probably say I'm a hard worker. Coming through a few the Widnes system and Warrington system, you learn quickly. Hard work gets you through most things. The skill comes on the back of it, and everyone likes a bit of skill and stuff. But I've learned that if you are the hard worker and you keep your skill where it needs to be, you do everything right, and you're a hard worker, most of the times you'll be in a team 9 times out of 10. Like I say, I feel like a little bit of a skillful player, but I'll just base my game off working hard and doing what needs to be done.
Obviously, Richie spoke about that as well. That hard work needs to be at the forefront of everything that this club do moving forward. So to bring those qualities in for everyone to have them, it's going to be essential now for Hull to get up that table, I guess.
Yeah, massively. It was something that got spoken about when I first come. With Grixie, it was lads need to buy into working hard for each other. Like I said before, that's one thing that does win you games. If you're all willing to work hard for each other, you put yourself in a much better position than if you're just willing to do the easy stuff. It's like a team like Wigan and Saints, they do all the hard stuff, and it's proven. They're in Challenge Cup finals, they're winning grand finals. They've got that many trophies, all based off hard work with a few bits of skillful players in. So if you base a team around hard work, then you'll go a long way.
Obviously, we've heard a lot about next year, but this year still a third of the season, exactly 9 games to play. So everyone look at the table and think, oh yeah, Hull, they're not really going to get the playoffs. But I think you as a player, there must be still a lot to play for in terms of pride and just winning, because that's why you're playing it. You want to win every week.
Yeah, definitely. It's not something that we've spoke about just yet, but I think that's a good thing. I think you just have to take each week as it comes, especially when you've just come off the back of a win like that after so many defeats. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, and you just have to focus on the week coming. Like I say, we've got Catalans this week, and we're going to focus on them. If we get 2 game streak, then who knows, that could become 3, 4, however many it needs to be, and that's when we can start assessing what the end of the season looks like.
Obviously, Catalans, you get a bit of time to give out, you go in the day before, so how important is that in preparation, obviously before you play, especially when going down to France where it's hostile and home crowd are in your face?
Yeah, you're going to have to prepare whichever way it is. I think going the day before keeps you out of holiday mode. If you go a couple of days before, some players can lose track of it, and it becomes a little bit of a holiday and makes it a lot harder for yourself. But each one has its pros and cons. But like I say, we'll prepare as best we can, and come Friday we travel, get over there, and then hopefully we turn up and put a good performance on Saturday.
Confidence there to, as you say, to get that little run now and back up Saturday's performance, because something we haven't done yet this season, but must be a lot of confidence, given the performance that everyone put in collectively as a team. Yeah.
We got in the changing rooms and everyone was buzzing. We've had a couple of days off, and now we've come back in. Training's been real good buzz, good energy. So yeah, everyone seems switched on and ready for this weekend.
Cheers, Ed.
Hi Ed, just a few from me. Thinking about the teamwork you've spoke about and effort, so we're not saying at the beginning of the season there wasn't a great deal of effort from the players, because we could see there was, but that teamwork seems to gel all of a sudden. well, for the last 5 weeks, and especially in the game at the weekend with Wigan. What do you think is the catalyst to that sort of change in that effort in the teamwork as a whole?
I couldn't name one specific thing, but like I've said, it's probably a big combination of a lot of little things. You know, personnel changes. I think Grixie's switching motions and his sort of mindset from when he was a player. It's that sort of thing. You know, I think new faces coming in provides a big spark for some lads, and at the minute it seems to be working well.
Brilliant. And thinking about the weekend and a great result for us, what's going through your head as a player in them last 10 minutes when we can see that, you know, the conditions, it was humid and everything? What's going through your head at that time?
That last 10 minutes,
apart from getting off here,
yeah,
quick.
Apart from the last 10 minutes, you are thinking, you probably start panicking, especially against a team like Wigan, because they can strike you from anywhere, and you know they ran it as close as they possibly could. That last 10 minutes, you just have to stick with your processes, stick with your game plan, and that's where, you know, your big players, you hope, stand up and take the game by the scruff of the neck. And you know, we had Truey, who stood up and he got us around the park, and then a few special moments from some other lads that just managed to get us through that.
And thinking ahead to next year, your colleagues have already mentioned around players coming in for next year. How excited should we be as all fans to see the likes of John and Zach appearing here next year? Yeah,
really excited. You know, played with them all in that Challenge Cup final, and that just epitomises what those players are. You know, Johnny's very skillful, but he's also a hard-working middle. You've got Zach, who is nicknamed the Tasmanian Devil. He just runs around like a lunatic, but he'll do anything for you. And then you've got Oggy, who's just a real workhorse, just never ask for anything special, just do what he needs to do. And you know, hopefully you put everyone in that same team and build around a few of them, those lads. Bring some similar lads in. It can be a real good team next year.